Hello, everyone. I'm just trying to go over the pictures, the live pictures we took at Baruch. I'm not going to take a lot of time because, yeah, on the test, I'm not going to ask you every detail. So I'm going to just go on the major organs you need to recognize or the major tissues. This one is a slide of the brain. The one you see under number 1, this is the cerebellum, not cerebrum, this one is the cerebellum. Number 2 over here is the medulla oblongata. Number 3 is the corpus callosum. Corpus callosum, it connects the two hemispheres, the right and the left hemisphere. Number 5, 6, and number 4, I don't want you to bother about them, but for information's sake, this one is the midbrain, this one is the pons, and if I have the picture right, number 4 should be the pituitary. So cerebellum, medulla oblongata, pons, and the pituitary. This one is the motor brain. Actually, let me go back. This structure, the one, the bumpy one in the back, this is the occipital lobe. This is the vision center. And this one at the front is the frontal lobe. And somewhere in the middle is going to be the parietal lobe. Frontal lobe at the front, occipital lobe close to the cerebellum, and then between somewhere here, the parietal lobe. Yeah, probably this is the division. Usually it is easier to see it from the top. Yeah, this is the motor brain, the same thing, the cerebellum, the medulla oblongata, that's going down to the spinal cord, the pons, this one is the corpus callosum. And there are 3 structures I want you to know. Just, I'm not going to test you on that, but it would be nice if you know them. If you draw a perpendicular line going down from the corpus callosum, you are going to touch the thalamus, the hypothalamus, and then the pituitary gland. So you draw a vertical line and you have the thalamus, and then you have the hypothalamus. Hypothalamus, hypo means under, so it is under the thalamus, which is the hypothalamus, and then you have the pituitary. It is almost a straight line, perpendicular line. And then you have the pons. Somewhere here in the middle is the midbrain, including this structure. This is the frontal lobe, and this one is the occipital lobe, just close to the cerebellum. And in the middle is the parietal lobe, and this whole thing is called the cerebral cortex. Right. This one is the same model, just inverted upside down. This one is the medulla oblongata leading to the spinal cord. On these 2 sides, we have the pons. These 2 are the cerebellum on both sides. Yeah, these are the 2 hemispheres. And right here, I think looks like number 46, but inverted. And this one is the pituitary gland. This one, I just want you to know what it is. This one is one of the vertebrae taken from spinal cord. So these are the spinal nerves going away from the cell bodies. And each of them have their own names, like the lateral horn. They have a lot of names you don't need to bother about. So these are the spinal nerves, and this one is just one of the vertebra. The vertebra. Uh, right. This one, it is the same thing we saw earlier. This one is the medulla oblongata, and this bumpy structure is the pons, and it will go up, and then this one is the corpus callosum. This one, the white sheet, and then in the back is the cerebellum. And I believe this one is the occipital lobe because this is the cortex, and at the back of the cortex is always the occipital lobe. Occipital lobe is the vision center. So this one is the medulla, and this bumpy structure is the pons, and this one is the cerebellum, and B is showing at the occipital lobe. This one, as you can see, there are blood vessels going into the kidneys, and this blue blood vessel, it is the renal vein. This one is the renal artery because it looks red. And this structure, I believe it is supposed to go this way because it looks like somebody cut it already. But this one looks like the ureter coming out from the kidneys, and the ureter should go into the this structure, which is the urinary bladder. So on both sides, there should be two kidneys, and we need to have two ureters, one on this side and another on this side, and they should join over here. So if I have the picture right, this one is actually going to go to the right side of the kidney, and the left side, somebody cut it, but this thing should come over here somewhere. So I don't want you to bother about this picture, but just know this one. This one is renal vein, this one is renal artery, and this looks like the ureter. Hey, yes, I think we saw this picture already. This one is the kidney, renal vein, renal artery, and this should go down if I'm not mistaken. This one looks like the ureter. Kidney is labeled as, let me see what's labeled as. Yes, the kidney is labeled as A, B is renal vein, and C is renal artery. Okay. This picture, we are going to have a detailed picture on the next page. Yes. Okay, this one is the kidney, and emanating from the kidney is the ureter, and this ureter is going to go to the bladder. It's going to go to the bladder, and on this area, one, we have the rectum, which is going to continue to, yeah, this is related to the large intestine. This is the end of the large intestine, the rectum. And then we have two tubes over here. And if I have the picture right, and if you go up, you see these structures that look like they look like the tiny grapes. These looks like the epididymis, which is found in the scrotum or the testes. So this is gonna go to the looks like the penis. Yes, the testes are gonna go to the penis. And this one looks like the urethra. And at the end, they are gonna come together because usually the penis and the urethra has the same opening. So these two are gonna go to the same external environment. So this one is the rectum, which is the end of the large intestine. And this one is leading to the penis, and this one is the urethra, coming from the uh, urinary bladder, because from the kidneys we have the ureter, and then from the ureter it's going to go to the urinary bladder. From urinary bladder it's going to go to the urethra, and the urethra and the penis are going to end up together, leading to the outside. Okay, let's see. Right. This one is the liver. Let's see. This one is the liver, and the lighter stuff, this one is the small intestine, all this convoluted structure. This is all small intestine. The darker structure is the large intestine. Can't tell if this is the stomach. No, this is the liver. Okay, yeah, I don't see the stomach. Maybe it's hidden behind. These two structures are the kidneys, and this one is going to go all the way down, and this one should be the rectum. And this sac-like structure, that's the urinary bladder. Uh, yeah, I think I've seen this one. This is the urethra, and this should be related to the penis. Yeah, maybe not. This looks like a female pig. Okay, yeah, just know that this one is the rectum. These two, I cannot tell what they are, but this one, I'm sure this one is definitely the urethra. This one cannot be sure. It could be related to the female reproductive organ. Yeah. I won't test you on the details, just know the big pictures like the liver, the small and large intestine, the kidneys, and renal vein, renal artery, because you can actually tell. Uh, and probably the urinary bladder, because this is a sac-like structure, and usually it has other tubes attached to it. Could be the penis, could be the ureter, but you can tell this is the urinary bladder. Timer. I think I've seen this one. This one, this one is definitely renal vein because it is blue and it is leading directly to the kidneys. So this is renal vein. Uh, it looks like it is going to one of the digestive organs. It could lead to the stomach or small intestine. I couldn't tell because it is hidden by the pancreas. Oh, by the way, this is really clean. Right. Uh, this one is the liver, Yes, this is definitely the liver. And over here, I don't know if you could tell, but this one looks like a tongue structure. It's floppy, and this one is the spleen, and this mushy structure has like circles, and it's clear and looks like juicy, and that should be the pancreas. Pancreas, spleen, and liver. This one I couldn't tell what it is. Okay. And then we have the kidneys. The outer part is called renal cortex, especially the one with the blue color, like this one. The inner one is called renal medulla. This is the medulla. This is renal cortex. And this yellow stuff, or yellow semicircle, is called renal pelvis. And as you can see the color, this is yellow and this is yellow. It means it is continuous. And this is the ureter, which leads to the urinary bladder. Ureter, renal pelvis, renal medulla, and cortex. This one is right here. This is the diaphragm. The diaphragm separates the thoracic cavity from the abdominal cavity. And this one is the liver, the lighter structure, which looks like a sac. That's the stomach. And this tongue-like structure is the spleen. And at the bottom right here, it looks like yellow grapes, like the tiny ones, and this should be the pancreas. As you know, spleen is really important in the immune system, and the pancreas is very relevant for sugar regulation. The dark one is the largest intestine. This looks like the ascending, transverse, and then we have the descending. Over here is the kidney. Okay. Diaphragm, liver, spleen, stomach, pancreas, kidneys, large intestine, and down here small intestine. This is the liver, this is the stomach, and this yellowish structure is the pancreas. As I told you, it looks like meshed juice or like tiny grapes when you see them from far. Pancreas, stomach, liver, small intestine, large intestine. The one I labeled C, that's the, this one is the lungs, this one is the auricles, and as you can see there is the septum dividing the heart. Over here you see the trachea, and over here you see the liver, and right here there's the stomach, and over here there's pancreas. Pancreas, stomach, liver, the heart, and then on the top, this one is the trachea. Okay. The one labeled A, this one is the liver, which is really important for sugar storage like glycogen, and it is important for red blood cell production, or in general blood cell production. And this structure is the gallbladder, which stores the bile, which is produced by the liver. Liver produces it, and gallbladder stores it, and then from gallbladder the bile goes straight to the duodenum, which is the first part of the small intestine. Okay, so liver, like different lobes, 1, 2, 3, 4, we have 4 different lobes, and underneath one of the lobes, I think the right lobe, if I'm not mistaken, is the gallbladder. Yeah, this I couldn't tell because I don't know if this is the stomach all in all. Yeah, but what I can tell is you see this part has like this grain structure and looks like the pancreas. And the pancreas is always associated with the stomach and small intestine. So I believe this is stomach, and this is like the fundus part of stomach, and this one is the pyloric region of the stomach, and it looks like it is leading to the duodenum. But I cannot be sure about this one because, to be honest, the picture is out of context. But as you can see, this one in the back looks the liver, and there is a yellowish structure behind the pin, and that should be the gallbladder. So stomach, the fundus region, stomach, the pyloric region, and then this is all leading to the duodenum, the small intestine, and I see the pancreas down here, and we have the liver here, and behind the pin is the gallbladder. Okay, this one I think we saw it already. The diaphragm, liver, stomach, spleen, the tongue-like structure, and over here with its own mesentery is the pancreas. And then we have large intestine, and we have small intestine. Small intestine, large intestine, spleen. Over here is the pancreas, is very visible. Yep. And then we have the diaphragm, and behind this wall is the lungs and the heart. And as you can see, this is the liver, the different lobes of the liver, and right here is the gallbladder, and over here is the stomach, and this tongue-like structure pasted on it is spleen. Yep, we saw this one: diaphragm, liver, spleen, pancreas, kidneys, large intestine, small intestine. Okay, let me quickly go over them. If there's anything left that we didn't see. Yeah, I guess we saw all of them. Hey, that's all I have for you. When you watch the videos from the other YouTube videos, try to pause and see the structures, because definitely I will draft questions from the videos in addition to these pictures. That's all I have for now. I wish you good luck with your exam and everything else. Take care.